If the cover didn't give it away, this is harp music. It's lovely, it's very soothing. It's small scale and delicate chamber music from the Baroque period. This is the perfect music for a very fancy garden party, or maybe a wedding reception, or a butterfly house at the zoo. I think there's something quite modern sounding in the style, or maybe it's modern folks who are mimicking this style. Or maybe what it is that Bach was working with our modern sense of major and minor scales already back in the 1700s. And since this is before a lot of Eastern influence on Western music or jazz influence, this sounds as modern and new as it ever did when it comes down to it. Like if it was a guitar instead of a harp, I'm not sure anyone would notice that it's 300 plus years old. Music like this kind of defined everything at the core of our Western sensibility about music. I'm giving it a thumbs up for repeat listening for those evenings when I'm drinking white wine and taking a long, luxurious bath. Not all Beethoven is epic full symphonies. This album is a little bit more like the music of a Gilbert and Sullivan musical. It's operatic trained voices, but singing more approachable folksy melodies with some basic piano and string accompaniment. If you like singing along to musicals, or you like singing Oktoberfest drinking songs, this is great. Especially because one, well, for me, it's in English, and two, they listed the lyrics on the back of the album. If I was trying to score this in a movie, I'd put it in the scene where my home fries protagonist is touring the Ivy League grounds in the library and feeling successful. But the music is just a little bit too folksy, and it makes it sound just a little bit like my fish out of water poor student from the wrong side of the tracks just doesn't quite belong in the hollowed halls with all the blue bloods. It's the music of happy, productive people. You can put it on the turntable when you're cleaning out your closet, and it'll help distract you from the tedium of everyday modern life. There was a V.C. Andrews book series that had the lead romantic interest playing Chopin at night when he couldn't sleep. At age 11, when I read that book, I didn't know what Chopin's music sounded like. It turns out it's very moody piano music. It's passionate and then gentle. It's loud and fierce and then light and lilting. There's some prideful, strong, confident marching, and then tentative, sorrowful dirging. I guess that's Chopin for you. Look, you can't dance to it. It's not going to put you in a good mood. All you can do is look out your manor window at the dark and misty moor and pine for your star-crossed lover. If I recall, Dutch Gramophone is the oldest continuous record label. They have an extensive historic catalog. Not everything is the absolute highest audiophile level recording or pressing, but all the ones I've bought that were pressed before the mid-1970s have been very lovely. I do have a later one that doesn't sound all that good, so I've been sticking to those earlier versions. I couldn't find this album online to sample, so I went into the purchase kind of blind, based solely on the director and the label. Listening to this, it sounded to me like it could be used as the soundtrack to a Moby Dick movie, maybe. Lots of swells and building and then quieting back down. I enjoyed listening, but overall it's a little too epic for me to sit and relax with. I paid $2.60 for this one on Discogs, and it's kind of hard to go wrong sometimes with these classical albums because they're just so affordable. Before I buy an album, I usually try to find samples online to listen to test it out before spending the money. I found some works by this group, but I couldn't find this particular album, so I went into the purchase a little blind. The label Deutsche Grammophon, known for its yellow label classical albums, started branching out their catalog starting in the 1970s. This album is classical music, but it's not your typical big orchestra. It's just two people playing small portable instruments. We don't really use the word buskers in a lot of places in the US. If you aren't familiar, busker means a street performer who hangs out at a subway station with their hat out or their guitar case open so you can give them money. I paid $2.60 for this. It is a light and airy, mostly kind of joyful chamber classical. It sounds like maybe the music that would be playing on a calliope on a carousel at a fair. The copy I have is flawless. No surface noise. It sounds great. Probably hasn't been played that much.